Welcome to this exciting journey into the world of creative writing. Today, as part of the Becoming an Author series, we will explore Lecture 3, Character Creation, a fascinating process that every middle school writer can use to make their stories come alive. You know those characters from your favorite books or movies, like Harry Potter or Elsa from Frozen? They feel so real with their magical adventures or icy powers, but they're not exactly like the people you know in everyday life, like your classmates or family. In this lecture, we'll discover why characters in stories are special and how understanding this can help you create amazing ones in your own writing. We'll look at three main differences and share quotes from famous authors. Examine examples from classic books you can find for free. By the end, you'll have fun tips, creative activities, and inspiring ideas to try, helping you craft characters that leap off the page. Let's dive in and uncover the magic of character creation. Have you ever thought about how some of your favorite people aren't real at all? Like Percy Jackson from the books battling monsters with his sword, or Simba from The Lion King roaring bravely on Pride Rock. They feel like friends, but they're made up. That's the power of great stories. Fictional characters can be more exciting and easier to understand than some real people we meet, like a teacher who's hard to figure out or a sibling with secret moods. As middle school writers, knowing how characters differ from real folks can help you build better stories filled with heroes and friends. Let's explore three big differences with help from famous writers and examples from classic books. First, fictional characters are simpler than real people. Real people are super complicated. They have tons of thoughts, feelings, and experiences from their whole lives, shaped by family, school, countless little moments like a rainy day or a lost game. But characters in stories are created with just the right details to make them interesting without being too overwhelming. Writers pick only the important parts to show us, like a character's big adventure or funny quirk, so we can get to know them quickly and enjoy their journeys. This makes characters feel vivid and fun to read about, like a puzzle with just the right pieces. For example, think about how a character like Alice from Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland seems curious and brave. We don't know every little thing about her life, like what she eats for breakfast, her favorite subject, or her worries about fitting in, just enough to follow her wild trip down the rabbit hole with the Mad Hatter and Queen of Hearts. As Ernest Hemingway once said, when writing a novel, a writer should create living people, people not characters. A character is a caricature. This means great characters feel like real people, but are simplified to highlight what matters most in the story, making them easy to love and remember, like a best friend you can always count on. Let's look at an example from a classic book. Lewis Carroll, an English writer who loved puzzles and nonsense, created Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, about a girl who falls down a rabbit hole into a strange world full of talking animals and odd events. In one scene, Alice meets the Cheshire Cat and tries to figure out her way. The excerpt reads, "Alice felt a little timid, but she went on. 'Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here?' 'That depends a good deal on where you want to get to,' said the cat. 'I don't much care where,' said Alice. 'Then it doesn't matter which way you go,' said the cat. This shows Alice's curiosity and confusion through her words and actions. The way she feels timid but keeps asking questions, her voice trembling slightly as the cat's grin widens, without telling us every detail about her past or thoughts. It makes her simple yet relatable, helping us focus on her adventure with the mysterious cat. We see her bravery in a fun way, different from real people who might have many hidden feelings we never know, like worries about tests or arguments with friends, keeping her story light and engaging. Second, fictional characters are made up of the most exciting or important moments in their lives. Real people have lots of boring parts. like brushing teeth, doing chores, or waiting for the bus, mixed with fun times like a soccer game or a birthday party. But stories skip those dull moments to keep things interesting. Writers choose dramatic scenes where characters face challenges, make choices, or learn something new, like solving a mystery, making a new friend, or winning a race. This makes stories fast-paced and full of action, keeping readers hooked from page to page. As Ray Bradbury noted, plot is no more than footprints left in the snow after your characters have run by on their way to incredible destinations. Characters lead us to amazing places, magical forests or hidden caves, through their key moments, leaving the everyday stuff behind. Here's an example from another book. J.M. Barrie, a Scottish writer who loved tales of magic and childhood, wrote Peter Pan about a boy who never grows up and takes kids to Neverland for adventures. In one part, Peter teaches Wendy and her brothers to fly. The excerpt reads, "Peter blew some fairy dust on them. Think happy thoughts," he said, and with a laugh they rose into the air, the wind whispering through their pajamas, the stars twinkling above like friendly eyes, and the moon lighting their way like a silver path. This shows Peter Pan's playful and magical nature through the exciting moment of flying, the fairy dust sparkling in the air, happy thoughts filling their minds, the whispering wind rustling their clothes, and the twinkling stars guiding them. Instead of everyday routines like brushing hair or eating breakfast, it highlights his adventurous spirit, making the character memorable without all the ordinary bits of life. Unlike real people who spend time on homework or playing video games, fictional characters like Peter Pan keep the focus on their magical adventures. We can know what fictional characters are thinking, which we can't do with real people. In real life, we guess what friends or family think from what they say or do, but in stories, writers can let us inside a character's head. Sharing their secrets, dreams, and silly ideas makes characters feel close, like we're sharing a special bond during their adventures. Understanding why characters act a certain way adds depth to their journeys, making their adventures more meaningful. As E.M. Forster said, fictional characters are people whose secret lives are visible. We get to see their thoughts, making stories a unique and magical experience, like peeking into a friend's diary. A. Milne, an English writer who created fun animal stories, wrote Winnie the Pooh about a bear and his forest friends. In one scene, Pooh gets stuck in a rabbit hole after eating too much honey, thinking, "Oh bother, if only I hadn't eaten quite so much." This shows Pooh's silly regret and love for honey through his thoughts and details like the sticky tummy and honey smell. Unlike real people, where we can't hear thoughts like, "I hope I did well on my math test," fictional characters like Pooh feel like funny friends we understand deeply. Elizabeth Bowen reminds us, characters are not created by writers. They pre-exist and have to be found. Great characters feel real because writers discover traits that make them unique, like Winnie the Pooh's love for honey or Peter's flying magic. Turning characters into friends we can't forget, each with a special spark that shines through their actions. To practice character creation with evocation, remember to show their thoughts and actions in fun ways. For example, instead of saying he was brave, write, he stood tall, his knees shaking a bit, thinking, "I can do this," as he faced the tall slide, the wind blowing his hair, his friends cheering below, the sun warming his back, the slide's smooth edge under his hand, and the crowd's gasps filling the air with excitement. This lets readers feel his bravery through his shaky knees, happy thoughts, warm sun, smooth slide, and crowd sounds, making him come alive with every step toward the top. Picking details for characters is like choosing toys for a game or snacks for a picnic. Start by noting what makes them special, their looks, words, actions, and thoughts. For a character who loves sports, add the thud of a ball, the sweat on their brow, the cheer of a goal, thoughts like, "This is my chance," the feel of grass under their shoes, the taste of a sports drink, the sight of a waving flag, the sound of a coach's whistle, and a lucky headband they wear. Use details that show who they are without telling everything, like their favorite color, secret dreams of winning a tournament, or a lucky charm they carry, painting a full picture of their personality with every move they make. Your words help characters shine. Use strong verbs like dashed instead of ran, or whispered instead of said quietly. Try, she dashed across the field, shoes kicking up dirt, breath puffing like little clouds, hair flying like a kite, a big grin lighting her face, her heart racing with joy, and the fresh scent of grass in the air, her team's colors flashing on her jersey. As Elmore Leonard said, "If it sounds like writing, I rewrite it," meaning keep it simple and fun, with lively words that dance off the page and bring your characters to life. Sometimes telling about characters is fine, like, "She was the fastest runner in class," then show her sprinting ahead, thinking, "I can win this," with the crowd's cheers, the track's firm ground under her feet, the wind whistling past her ears, and her shoelaces flapping with each stride. Let's look at E.B. White, who wrote Charlotte's Web about a pig and spider. In one scene, Wilbur enters the barn. The excerpt reads, "Wilbur sniffed the air, the smell of hay and warm animals filling his nose, and he trotted into the barn, his tiny hooves clicking on the wooden floor, the soft light streaming through the cracks, and the gentle moo of a cow welcoming him with a soft nudge." This shows Wilbur's curiosity with the hay smell, hoof clicks, soft light, cow moo, and nudge, making it a warm, animal-friendly moment. Now let's add another example. L.M. Montgomery, a Canadian writer who loved stories of friendship, wrote Anne of Green Gables about a lively girl adopted by a family. In one scene, Anne imagines a magical world. The excerpt reads, "Anne twirled in the field, her red braids swinging, thinking, 'This is my own fairyland,' as the wildflowers brushed her ankles. The breeze carried the scent of clover. The blue sky stretched above like an endless dream. And the soft hum of bees filled the air with a gentle buzz." This shows Anne's imagination with her twirl, fairy thoughts, flower brush, sky dream, and bee hum, making her a joyful character we can join in her whimsical world. Let's add one more example. C.S. Lewis, a British writer who crafted magical tales, wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe about children entering a snowy land called Narnia. In one scene, Lucy steps into Narnia for the first time. The excerpt reads, "Lucy pushed through the wardrobe, the crunch of snow under her shoes surprising her, thinking, 'Where am I?' as the cold air nipped her cheeks. The faint jingle of bells echoed from a distant sleigh, and the white landscape sparkled like a frozen wonderland under a pale winter sun." This shows Lucy's wonder with the snow crunch, cold air, bell jingle, sparkling landscape, and pale sun, letting us feel her excitement as she discovers a new world, different from the quiet of her real home with its wooden floors and cozy fire. Compare these to Stephen King's Salem's Lot. By mid-May, the sun rose through the morning haze with power, and standing on your porch with your lunchbox, you knew the dew would vanish by 8, the dust would hang thick on the roads, and by noon, the playground would heat up. Laughter ringing out as kids ran, the swings creaking with play, and the smell of sunscreen wafting through the air, the bright slide reflecting the sunlight. This shows a hot day with dew, dust, laughter, creaking swings, sunscreen scent, and bright slide, letting you feel the warmth, hear the fun, and see the colors, making it a lively scene to imagine. Character creation is about making them feel like friends who are simpler, full of exciting moments, and open with their thoughts, different from real people in fun ways. Use details, quotes like Forster's about visible secrets, and examples from books to create your own. Practice by rewriting a scene from your day, showing a character's thoughts like, "I wonder what's next" during recess, with the bell ringing, friends chatting, the slide's warm metal under your hand, a breeze rustling your hair, and the taste of a shared snack lingering. Or imagine swapping traits with a friend. Make them simpler, like giving them one big love, like drawing, and show it with pencil scratches, a happy hum, colorful sketches spread around, and a proud glance at their artwork. Try a third activity. Write a short story where you show a character's fear of a school play with shaky hands, bright stage lights, thoughts like, I hope I don't forget my lines, the rustle of curtains, the audience's quiet hum, and the soft glow of a spotlight on their face. Experiment with different feelings, places, and traits, learning from authors like White, Montgomery, or Lewis, and you'll make characters that jump off the page with every story. Next, we'll explore using imagination for characters. Keep creating, stay curious, let your imagination soar. Share your tales with pride, and watch your characters grow into stars of your own stories. Shout out to the students of Mr. Harris's creative writing class. Heard they were doing some awesome things. Until next time, keep your pencils sharp and your mind open. Ciao.